Hi everyone, Lady Rose of Goddess Garage here with you today. I wanted to talk a little bit about Uranus, the planet, going into retrograde, which is going to happen August 15th of this year, 2020. So we've had quite a year so far, as everybody knows, and I just wanted to talk about it going into retrograde, which can actually be a really beneficial thing, because a lot of us will hear the term retrograde and think of Mercury retrogrades and things going sideways and, you know, communication breaking down and all that kind of stuff. But Uranus is a different kind of planet, and it's dependent on where it's placed in your chart and where the other signs are also placed in your chart. So I wanted to talk a little bit about it because I'm kind of excited. I like Uranus because it's one of the bigger boys on the block. And what that means is it's what's called a generational planet. Pluto, even though it's a dwarf planet or is not even considered a planet, I can't quite remember, it's also considered one of the bigger boys on the block as far as our astrology charts go and whatnot. It's also a generational planet. So it only comes into our neighborhood when big things happen. So with Pluto, though, when it comes into our neighborhood, it often means shit is going to hit the fan kind of thing. And big things happen, like the Berlin Wall went down when Pluto was in our neck of the woods kind of thing. The Vietnam War was going on while Pluto was in our neck of the woods, that sort of thing, right? Uranus has a different kind of energy, and like I said, I like Uranus. Now, Uranus, the name is, Uranus was the grandfather of Kronos, who is the planet Saturn. So Saturn's all about our life lessons, right? And he's the grandfather of Zeus. Sorry, I always get that mixed up. Of Zeus, who is Jupiter. And Jupiter is one of the bigger boys, but he's where our luck is, where our fun's going to be, that sort of thing, right? I like Jupiter. He's a fun kind of planet. So was the god Zeus. He was kind of fun, and, you know, he was a little promiscuous, but he was fun. And then Uranus is also the father of Kronos, who is the father of Zeus, right? That's the planet Saturn. Now, Saturn's a very serious planet. He's all about life lessons and where our limitations are and that sort of thing. Now, Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius. And Aquarians, if you've ever met or known any Aquarians, had that pleasure, you know that they kind of do things to the beat of their own drummer. They do things in a very unusual way, but it's a unique way, and it always seems to work for them. Aquarians have this unique ability to do things in a unique way that seems to only work for them. It's like, I wouldn't have done it that way. Had I done it that way, probably wouldn't have worked. But because you're Aquarian, it's working for you, right? Aquarians are very liked as well, very much so. They have a smoothness about them that, you know, people tend to flock to them a little bit like moths to the flame. Aquarians can be a little aloof sometimes. So, you know, that's what Aquarians all are about. But they're also about, again, like I said, doing things in a very unique way. They like new things. They're a little bit like Aries that way. Not quite as rambunctious as Aries are. As far as, you know, like Aries will just kind of run at new things, right? Whereas Aquarians will think about it, but they do their sort of turn-ons are new technology, and they love computers and, you know, anything new, a new innovative way of doing something. They're all over. They love social progress, that sort of thing. They're very humanitarian in their ways of thinking and that sort of thing as well. So Uranus, as well as the planet itself, takes 84 years to go around the sun. So it has bigger influence in a lot of ways on our planet when it's in our neck of the woods. And it will be in our neck of the woods August 15th. That doesn't mean literally it's right beside us or anything. I'm just using that as a phrase. And it will be there until January 1st of 2021. Its days are shorter though. It's only 17 hours for it to do one rotation on its own axis. It is also the only planet, and scientists have said it could be because of the pull of its one moon, or also it may have been knocked by another meteor or planet or whatever that was cruising through our solar system when it first was formed. back even before we were around, kind of thing. But it is sideways. So as Earth is up and down, well, we're actually kind of tilted a little bit, but we spin around almost straight up and down, and then we go around the sun. Uranus is sideways like this, so it spins. It's the only planet that's like that, and they believe it got knocked, so it's sideways. Okay, and sorry, my timer just went off and I was just like, what's going on? So anyways, so I just wanted to put that out there just so you know a little bit about Uranus and how things are. The other cool thing about Uranus is it is a big ice block because it actually gives off more heat from the gases within its center than it does absorbing heat from the sun, because it is so far away from the sun. And because of this, when it rains on Uranus, it literally rains diamonds. So that's kind of cool. So, you know, it's a nice sparkly planet as well, because it's ice and it's diamonds. Now, when it's going into retrograde, so this year in 2020, Uranus is in the sign of Taurus. And Taurus in the astrology charts in the zodiac are the builders. They're all about building. They build money. They build, you know, houses. They're builders. They're almost collectors, not quite as collecting as Cancers are, but they are builders, and they do love the finer things in life. They love luxury or luxurious things, right? Because they're ruled by Venus, and Venus, she's all about love, but she's also about the aesthetic. They love aesthetically pleasing things. If you walk into a Taurus house, you'll probably notice everything's kind of aesthetically pleasing in their kind of own way. So Tauruses are like that. So this is a year of building, especially in unusual ways or in ways that you weren't expecting, right? So Corona's brought a lot of big changes, especially, for instance, in the workplace. A lot of us went home and started working from home because we couldn't go to, you know, our workplaces or our offices or whatever. The other thing that it's kind of bringing about is it's given us a chance to kind of look at what we do for work and how bad do we want to keep this job? Is this the job we want to do for the rest of our lives? You know, yes, it's paying the bills, but is this the career that I want to do until I retire, kind of thing? So a lot of people have been finding that they're feeling that shift. And that's part of that energy of Uranus building up. Once we get into the retrograde, you're going to really feel it. So the energy that it's bringing is kind of a restlessness, kind of almost an apprehension, a little bit of nervous energy, that sort of thing. So the idea is, and the part of the reason I'm doing this video is I want you to be aware of it because it's going to hit you in the next few days. And I want you to funnel it in a positive way. I want you to focus it in a positive way, because you could focus it, if you're going into it randomly, you might focus it more into a meltdown and a nervous energy and panic attacks and anxiety and things like that. So you have control now. So you can go that route if you want to, or you can go down the more positive route and focus that energy. Because what this retrograde will be is about building things in unexpected ways. Now, if you want to know personally how it will very individually affect you, it's a good time to get sort of a chart reading. I'm hoping to do a special Uranus retrograde chart reading for this particular retrograde so that you kind of know where you need to be, kind of thing, because it depends on where Uranus and Taurus and Aquarius and all these kind of things, what planets are affecting these things and where they are in your chart, where the head of your dragon is on your chart and all that kind of stuff. So if you want to do that, please message me. I'll put the links below on how you can message me in this description, but I want to go through what the energy is going to be like. So like I said, you're going to have that restless sort of apprehension, sort of nervous energy, and you're going to find that there might be new jobs on the horizon, because maybe you've been reflecting and thinking, well, no, what I really would like to do is I'd like to do this for the rest of my life, or always thought about doing that, or, you know, that sort of thing. So it's going to push you out of your comfort zone a little bit. And if you're looking for a new career, If it does feel like it's outside your comfort zone, now's the time to take advantage of this energy and apply. Like if you feel you're not qualified enough, if you feel that, oh, maybe they won't like me, maybe they don't think I'm good enough for it, I'm not sure I'm good enough for it. If you're having those thoughts about the job, it's almost an indicator that you should apply for that job, especially if it's a job you want, obviously. So apply for that job. If it scares you a little bit, apply for it, because the energy is in the air right now for you to actually get that job. It's also about self-care right now. Tauruses are very good at self-care. They know how to do it, and they know how to do it right. They do it with the best linens and blankets for their beds, and they do it with the best food for their bodies, and they do it with the best salts and oils and bubble baths for their baths, and they do it with the best amount of sleep. They're not afraid to take the amount of sleep that they need. They do it with the best journals, you know, that sort of thing. Whatever you need to do for self-care, now is the time to do it, and it will actually help you. So don't feel guilty about any self-care from now until the end of the year. If you neglect yourself, if you wear the martyr badge and I'm just putting everybody ahead of me and I'm the last on the list, that energy is going to go sideways on you. If you're saying, well, no, I need to take some time and I need to go and have a bubble bath, or I need to go and sit under a tree and read a book for an hour, or I need to go have a 2-hour, 3-hour nap, that will actually bring you better energy and better opportunities. So do it. Take care of yourself. It's very important, especially while Uranus is in retrograde and in Taurus sign. Okay. The other thing, oh yes, that's the other thing. The other thing is when you're focusing that energy in a positive way, it's actually going to help you clear debts. You're going to clear debts much faster, more efficiently. Things are going to be like, you know, oh, here's the bill. I pay it right away and it's gone. I've been finding that lately. So I'm looking forward to this retrograde for that. So it's actually going to speed up paying off debts and making sure your finances are just right. Tauruses love their finances just right. If you take this energy and kind of go down the wrong road and use it sort of in a negative way, where you're having the meltdowns and you're kind of having those anxiety attacks and things like that, if you're letting that take control, then your debt situation might actually get worse. So you have to be careful of that. The other thing too, yay, is your sex life gets better. Woo! Because it's when it comes around to Scorpio time, that's when the sex life really picks up. So look forward to that. It's all about how you use your words. So, you know, if you're clever enough in your words, your sex life is going to improve greatly for you. So Scorpio is sort of the end of October, beginning of November kind of time. And what else? Anything else that I need to say here? Oh yes. Because Uranus is in retrograde, just the nature of it, it's don't make big plans. I mean, make some plans, plan to pay off your debts, plan, maybe look at new jobs and plan new jobs and stuff like that. But don't be closed off to abrupt changes, because even the jobs that come in and even the clearing off of the debts, it's going to happen very suddenly. So go with those sudden changes. Again, always keep it, trying to focus it in that positive way, and taking that energy and doing positive movement with it, but also be prepared to roll with the punches. So don't necessarily be strict on your plans, like this is how I'm going to do things. You got to let go of some of that micromanagement control that you maybe want or need to have. Let go of that need of it, because it's going to be a lot of abrupt, sudden movements with this energy, but good sudden movements and changes if you allow it to be. And again, roll with those punches. Things might not go the way you thought they would, but if you keep positive about it, it will always pay off for you. And because it's so sudden and abrupt, you will need that self-care. So make sure to keep that up. take that bubble bath, read that book, do that journaling, whatever you need to do, kind of thing. So that's Uranus retrograde. If you want to know more about how it's going to affect you individually, please get a hold of me. And like I said, it is a generational planet, so it's going to affect the whole generation as well. So there will be big changes, and the way it kind of affects it that way is there'll be new policies coming in, new social change, that sort of thing. So embrace those things and watch those things, watch how they change, and see where Uranus is taking us. Because it's going to be exciting. It's, you know, Uranus is a beautiful planet, but it does things in an unusual way. So expect the unusual. It, you know, as far as people want to do social change, like a lot of people are doing social changes, but they have a plan perhaps. Those plans are not going to go the way they planned. We'll still end up in a good place, but we've got to be patient with ourselves, with each other. We have to be respectful of ourselves and each other. We can't always all agree on the same thing. Uranus is going to change things for both sides anyways. So let's just go with the flow, and let's just share love with each other. And if you need to agree to disagree, then do it. And agree to disagree in love and in respect. Okay, so that's it. Like I said, message me if you want to know about your individual changes that might be happening with this big retrograde. Look on my page for the retrograde special service, and I'll be putting that up in the next few days. I won't be starting it until at least a few days after the 15th, so not till the 18th of August, because I've got to let the energy kind of come in and allow it to come in before I'll be doing chart readings for this particular retrograde. Okay, so merry, wise, and gentle be. This was Lady Rose with you. Thank you so much for being here, and enjoy the retrograde.